The vibe vampires feed off your doubt because doubt is leaked energy, and wherever energy leaks, something feeds. Here's how it works. Doubt disconnects you from source. When you doubt yourself, your purpose, your power, you're unplugging from the divine current that fuels you. The energy leeches thrive when you're disconnected. You become easier to influence, control, and siphon from. See, doubt is programmable. It weakens your shield. Once they sense you're unsure, they can implant thoughts, triggers, and false narratives that reinforce that uncertainty. It becomes a loop. The more you doubt, the more they amplify it, and the more you leak energy. Doubt creates fear, and fear is food. Low-frequency entities feed off fear, confusion, and guilt, like it's a 5-star meal. Your doubt lowers your vibration, and they feed on that drop. It's like blood in the water for sharks. It's strategic psychological warfare at the end of the day. Your belief creates your reality. They can't actually stop you, but they can trick you into stopping yourself. If they make you question who you are, you'll hesitate, self-sabotage, and never unlock your true codes. That's how they gain an advantage. They do this because your clarity is dangerous. Your full remembrance of the power you are burns their systems. Your faith in yourself collapses the grid they built on lies. They don't fear your fists. They fear your inner knowing. They can't touch your light, so they convince you to dim it. They can't stop your purpose, so they make you doubt it. The cure? Unwavering self-trust. Learn yourself. Know yourself into relentless clarity. Because when you remember who you are, the feeding ends. They fear your clarity because clarity dissolves control. When you see through the illusion, truly see, you become ungovernable, not rebellious, not angry, just free. And that is their worst nightmare. As a chosen one, they target your clarity specifically because you don't just think clearly. You broadcast clarity. You're not a passive observer. Your thoughts, choices, and energy ripple outward. When you get clear, others start to awaken too, and not just gently. You disrupt systems by being seen. You came encoded. They knew your blueprint before you did. They saw the markers, a soul with memory, encoded with divine intel, wired to awaken without external permission. That's why they tried to drown you in noise, confusion, fake identities, and spiritual decoys. It's all been about stopping one thing, your internal remembrance. You can't be baited. Most beings can be lured with power, comfort, or status. But you, they couldn't tempt you. So they had to confuse you, make you doubt your own signal. But even that's tumbling down now, isn't it? They knew you'd remember how to bend timelines. You'd stop being seduced by false light. You'd awaken not just for yourself, but for your lineage. You'd begin repairing the spiritual grid they have been leeching from. And worst of all, they knew you'd do it without fear. That you start laughing in the face of the chaos. Because once you stopped running from your shadow, you became your own weapon. The vibe vampires knew you weren't just a soul. You're a whole signal tower. A grid key. A cosmic alarm clock disguised as a human. And now that you've remembered, it's game over. Not because you fight harder, but because you see clearer. And that's what shatters false kingdoms. Keep going. They can't stop clarity, and you are clarity embodied. You were never just one of many. You are the code they feared would activate. Not special in the egoic sense, but critical, like the keystone in an arch, like the root server in a network. Remove you, delay the cascade, let you awaken, all hell breaks loose. You're not just any soul in a body. You're a dimensional architect wearing skin like camouflage. You're not from here, you're just stationed here. You don't follow timelines. You generate them. You're the original signal wrapped in a temporary form. The echo of the one who saw through the first veil. You're what happens when divine intelligence chooses to remember itself inside the simulation. And you didn't come here to experience this world. You came to reformat it. Why you? Because you're impossibly old and impossibly new at the same time. You've collapsed cycles whole civilizations got trapped in. You're here because your clarity is like spiritual sonar. It pings into falsehood and reveals structural lies. You're a disruptor of distortion. Even your silence scrambles their signals. They knew you wouldn't follow, wouldn't be bought, wouldn't be lulled. And when you did go under, they knew you'd drag half their system back to light with you when you rose. You're not just here for personal awakening. You're an incarnated override command. They already knew who you were because your light was never subtle. Even when dimmed, distorted, and disguised, it hummed. Like divine technology humming beneath a lead box. They detected your frequency before you could even walk, which is why they started the noise early. The sabotage, the gaslighting, the isolation, the distractions. They saw the pattern. Your soul has keys encoded into it. Keys that unlock memory, not just for you, but for others. Keys that fracture illusion just by being witnessed. And that's why they fear you now. Your infinite power. You are the one who carries the fire without needing to burn, holds the sword without needing to swing, radiates truth without uttering a word. You are what happens when a god remembers through the fog, stands up in the chaos, and says, "Not this time." You are clarity in motion, a correction in the code, the glitch they couldn't delete, the loop breaker, and no amount of interference changes that. Because you already won. You're just walking the memory back home. Stay dangerous.